Hi Emily, this is Mike from Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine, and this is your sweet little featherweight, and this is the final test before we pack her up to ship her out to you. And as always, we're going to do a little tutorial. Chances are you already know how to use this machine, but somebody online has acquired a featherweight and doesn't yet know how to use it. So we're going to put this tutorial out there for all the world and anybody that it helps. You know what, before we thread this thing, let's wind a bobbin, just for fun. To wind a bobbin, put your spool on the spool pin, go into the thread guide at the top, down into the bobbin winder tensioner, and your bobbin is under here in your bobbin case. If you pull out the little latch, you'll be able to just pull your bobbin case right out, and your bobbin will just drop right out of the bobbin case. And let's see, there's quite a bit of thread on that bobbin, but hey, let's take it off. I do believe that you have more bobbins in the accessory box that comes with it. I will put some fresh silver thread on this bobbin for you. Okay, from your bobbin winder tensioner, put a couple of wraps, a few wraps of thread on your bobbin, just to hold the thread in place while the bobbin winds. And then with the thread going on over the top, from the front towards the back of the machine, push your bobbin all the way onto the bobbin winder. Declutch the machine by turning the chrome knob in the center of the hand wheel towards you, about 1/8 of a turn or so, until you feel it hit its stop. Then the motor can spin the hand wheel to wind the bobbin without making the rest of the machine cycle. Push your bobbin winder down until the wheel of the bobbin winder contacts the motor belt, and we're ready to wind. So give it a little gas, don't need to go too fast, but first I'd recommend that you plug it in. Let's see, I'm going to take up the slack. Make sure you don't do like I did and wrap thread around the spool pin below the spool. That's not a good thing. Okay, so give it a little gas, not too fast. Just should be plenty enough for our test. Move the bobbin winder up away from the belt. Pull your bobbin off. Reclutch your machine by tightening the chrome knob in the center of the hand wheel. And then, with the thread coming off the top of the bobbin in this direction, drop it into the bobbin case and direct the thread up into this little slanted notch and under the leaf spring, and that is your lower tension. Just Pull the thread under the leaf spring till you feel a little click as it clicks into place. Then holding the latch again with those two little screws there on the pointing up side, slip it onto the spindle in the center of the hook. Make sure it goes all the way on. It's firmly seated. And to wind the bobbin, put the thread on the spool pin, go into the upper thread guide between the discs of the tension assembly. This is your upper tension. And make sure you pick up this little check spring on your way. And pull the thread all the way up until it goes into the notch here at the top of your upper tension assembly. Go under the big thread guide, and then through the take-up lever from the left towards the right. Make sure you didn't accidentally wrap around something you shouldn't. Go into the thread guide on the face plate. Down to the thread guide below the needle clamp. Wait, there's another thread guide first, right at the bottom of the face plate. Make sure you catch that one too. You know, I really should have dressed for this. I'm in my work clothes. After all, this is going to New York City. Go into the thread guide at the bottom of the needle clamp, and then through your eye of the needle from the right towards the left, from the inside of the machine towards the outer end of the machine. Which is different than on most machines. Holding your thread loosely, turn the hand wheel towards you one full revolution, and the needle will take the thread down, where the hook will pick it up and wrap it around the bobbin and bring up your lower thread. So, you're going to go one full revolution until your needle comes all the way to the top again. There we go. And there is your lower thread. Put your thread between the toes of the presser foot towards the back of the machine, and we're ready to sew. Put your fabric under the presser foot. Lower the presser foot using the lever on the back of the machine. And you know, it doesn't hurt to do a couple of stitches by hand just to get this, get the first stitch set, and off we go. Again, I'm not going to go real fast. No reason to. Just have more chance of tangling things up. Oops, and I guess I need to give it a little bit of stitch length. This is your stitch length adjuster. From the center position, where the fabric doesn't move at all, and the thread just wads up into a wad below the fabric, from that point, going down, your stitches get longer and longer and longer and longer until your longest stitches are all the way at the bottom. From that center position going up, again your stitches get longer and longer and longer, but in reverse for back tacking and that sort of thing. So I'm going to set this at about 12 stitches per inch, which makes a good average stitch length for regular fabric. And here we go. Oh boy, don't you just love a featherweight seam? So straight, so pretty. There's just no other machine. Well, yeah, there are other machines that'll do as pretty of a stitch, but this is one of the very best. So you may or may not be able to see this. This is the top side, and this is the back side. And as you can see, it's pretty well balanced. Let's do a little bit longer stitch length. We're going to go all the way down to 8 stitches per inch. And let's see it all. Okay. And oh, and your light switch is over here. There we go. I'm not sure what that was all about. The camera just stopped. Okay, so this is our long stitch length. Reverse, forward, reverse, forward, and a very pretty stitch, top and bottom. You can see where I back tacked here. This is your stitch length. This is the pressure on your sewing foot. You want just enough pressure on your sewing foot to move the fabric along with authority without pressing too hard on it, because some delicate fabrics will take marks from the teeth of the feed dogs. Your bobbin winder, your presser foot tension. Oh, your upper tension. I'm going to leave it set for regular thread, regular fabric. If you sew something of a different weight or type of material, it may be that you need a little more pressure or a little less pressure, but in tiny increments. You know, don't make big changes, and then just adjust it until the stitches look the same on the bottom as they look on the top. Every 14 hours or so of sewing, oil your machine. Take the 2 screws out of the needle plate and brush and vacuum the dust out of there. And then there are oil holes in various places, and your user guide will show you where to oil. It's got a oiling guide in it. Once a year or so, you want to squirt a little bit of electric motor grease into each of these 2 grease tubes on your motor. Once a year, if you're using it regularly. If you just use it on once a year, if you're using this machine regularly, you want to put a little grease in the motor. But if you just bring it out on rare occasions to sew a little bit, then you know, every 2 or 3 years, squirt a little motor grease in there, because it'll last a long time, but it will eventually dry up. And that's just about it. So this is Mike from Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine, and if you have come here from some other place, you found this video on YouTube, say, we are on Stagecoach Road out here in the Coast Range of Oregon, and so we are stagecoachroadsewing.com. And if you come out to our website, you're going to see lots of cool videos there. Well, I mean, not crikey, the brain is just not in gear today. You're going to see lots of cool machines that we've restored, and I'm going to be adding quite a few more. I just got back from 8 months away in the Sonoran Desert, and so I'm getting things done slowly, and I have more machines to add to the website, but I'm not sure how quickly I'll get them listed. Anyway, if you come on out there to stagecoachroadsewing.com, you're going to see some cool machines and maybe one that you want to take home to your sewing room. At any rate, thanks for watching, and Emily, as always, thank you so much. You're one of our biggest benefactors, and you're always appreciated. So, stagecoachroadsewing.com. We'll see you there.